everyone, and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Universe. I am Aaron St. Denis. Find me anywhere on social media at FF Mad Scientist. Joined once again by Jesse Moeller at JMoeller05. Continuing on with the divisional superlatives, we've got, I was going to say a more entertaining one today, but then I realized it was NFC South and not AFC South, and I instantly lost all enthusiasm for this. Oh, good God. You know what else is tripping me out? I went to just retweet this as the show went live, and it's really, really bothering me every time a tweet comes up. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy who keeps quote tweeting me or whatever? I'm like, I don't know no Hollywood Jack. And then I realize it's Jeremy's leaned into the Hollywood Jack name, and I still haven't adjusted. I see it come up, and I'm like, who the hell is Hollywood Jack? Oh, FF Rebel. Okay.
You're like, who would name himself that? What an asshole.
I came up with the stupid nickname, but I haven't adjusted to seeing it on Twitter yet. And I'm like, who is? Oh, it's Jeremy. So anyways, welcome everyone. I know we're almost at the NFL draft. So if you're looking into rookie profiles, like pretty much everyone is, that's all they want to talk about. Head over to fantasyfootballuniverse.com. We've got 150 sneak peeks. Like I think it's 97 or 93 offense, and then 53 or 57 IDP. We got them all there. Follow us. I am at FF Mad Scientist. He's at JMoeller05. We've got at FF_Rebel and at the PPR Show for Jeremy and SC, and at the FF Universe or at FF Universe, some form of FF Universe on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc. Blah, blah, blah. If you can, we would appreciate it if you like us, subscribe, follow, comment, review, all that, fun jazz. We respond to pretty much everything we can, except for the mean shit. I respond to that personally, and I am hostile. Not really.
You're like, this is my burden. I will bear it.
Yeah. The one guy, we have one person blocked. Literally, one person in the history of the company has been blocked, and it says he commented 5 days in a row saying, "You guys suck at this. You should quit your day job. You'll never get paid to do this." And I said, "Motherfucker, I already get paid to do this, so shut up." And then we got blocked. But that's a story for another day. Let's get back at it here. NFC South. Oh, this is fun. Yeah.
My man Kirk's right there. My man, he's right there. Mr. Kirk Chains.
Yeah.
Come on.
Old guy with a torn, was it ACL?
He didn't need it before anyways.
That's fair. He's a statue and they don't need ACLs. But so we got quarterbacks: Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins; Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young; New Orleans Saints, Derek Carr; and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. I feel like this is the division where they are most relevant in Superflex redraft leagues, because all other formats, they are irrelevant, basically. Okay. I feel like the most controversial thing here is going to be ranking them in Dynasty, because as much as I hate to do this, I almost have to say Bryce Young is the best of them, or like the highest in Dynasty, despite the fact that he's easily the lowest in redraft, because he's so young and it's only second year and he was the number one pick. He's got to be the best long-term out of these quarterbacks for Dynasty. Like any of these guys, I guess, could have 1 to 3 years left. But okay, so for Dynasty, I'm going to rank it Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr.
Yeah, nobody wants fucking Derek Carr. Derek Carr is literally the worst option in any format, because he doesn't give you an upside. He just hovers there as QB 24 every season and just pisses off his offensive line and his wide receivers. I literally cannot stand Derek Carr.
Like, this is the QB2 division, but how do you rank it in Dynasty?
I have Kirk one spot above Bryce. I can flip it if you really want to go rebuilding. Like I know Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback compared to these other guys, and he's actually been a QB1 the majority of his career. These other guys have not. It's interesting. We have Bryce Young, who's the first overall pick. Baker Mayfield is the former first overall pick. Their career paths look really similar. Like Bryce Young struggled out the gate. He had a horrific preseason. Baker did that in year 2. He came back. With the way they're building that offense, what they're doing in Carolina, they actually gave him a receiver, Deontay Johnson. I feel a lot better with Bryce Young. Now go get another wide receiver in the draft. We'll like that a lot more. Then it's Baker Mayfield. He at least gives you a tangible upside, a little bit of something. Derek Carr, I literally cannot stand Derek Carr. You can tell the way I'm talking about it. I'm like, Derek Carr, no, just you're a clear fourth first, way down the list. I think he's QB 30 for me in Dynasty. Baker is QB 26. It's 18 for Cousins and 19 for Bryce Young. They're all hovering around in that spot, but Bryce Young at least has upside that he can gain this year.
this is the definition, I guess, of value picks here, because all of them are guys who are going to slide down the board in fantasy drafts. None of them are going to be the first 12 off the board. Like Cousins might have been in the top 12 off the board, but not with an injury. We don't like he'd be back week 1. So I guess that brings us to the interesting one. Redraft, I would say Kirk is my number 1, but that scares me because I don't know. Do we have a prognosis on when Kirk's due back? I know he's a quarterback, so it doesn't really matter when, how fully healed he is, but let me look this up. I don't know if we have him. Is he expected to start week 1? Optimistic to be full speed at practice in June. So, it's Achilles, not ACL. Sorry. So theoretically, he should be ready to go week 1. And I'm not really worried about, decreased rushing volume because of his Achilles. I don't think he had an increased rushing volume to start. So under the assumption he's ready to go week 1, I'm going to take this as Kirk, followed by Baker. I want to say Derek Carr and then Young, but I might just take Bryce Young later and pray that they're both going to have similar shitty floors. Maybe I'm just going to hope that Bryce turns it around, because you know what Derek Carr is at this point.
Yes, we do.
QB 15 to 18, 15 to 20. I think Bryce is probably the same thing, but maybe there's the upside. So I think you could also get Bryce cheaper. So for me, it's Kirk and then Baker are the only two I'm really interested in. And then I guess I'm going to lean Bryce here and just pray that the mystery box comes through over the flaming turd that we know Derek Carr is. What do you got here in the draft?
Yeah, I like those rankings. I've very much been a Kirk Cousins guy. He's the first person in fantasy football that I wrote an article about. He was my introduction into content creation. So I've always been a Kirk Cousins guy, because I looked at rankings back in the day and I was like, dude, this guy's undervalued. Top 6 QB, and he's valued QB 24. I'm like, what's going on? Same thing this year. It's just the injury. If he has a fantastic situation, he is going to play. He's going to be a top 12 quarterback. Now it gets interesting with Bryce comparing to Derek Carr. Derek Carr last year, he was like 14 points a game. Year before that, he's 15 points a game. You know what Derek Carr is. It's just this floor, and it's incredibly annoying because he might have 1 or 2 spike weeks throughout the year. It's incredibly difficult to predict. I really just don't want to. There's no upside with that, so I'm not interested. At least Baker, who was a top 10 guy last year, he would finish his QB 10, I think it was, if I'm correct. Yeah, he was. He had 16.7 points per game. That's more than Derek Carr's done in forever. So if Baker clearly too, then you can take the shot on Bryce Young. You hope the situation improves, gets better, because it can't get any worse, that's for sure. And he's a better passer. And like Carr just does not trust himself. So I don't want to trust a guy that doesn't trust himself as a quarterback. So he's for it.
Redraft wise, just for this season, if I gave you an over-under on quarterbacks in this division finishing as season-long top 10s, if I put the over-under at 0.5, would you take the over or under? Because I'm not sure there's a top 10 in here.
If Kirk Cousins was playing the entire year, I would take the over, but I just don't know if he's playing the entire year. So like that's
I said 0.5. Yeah. I don't know what you want to say. Take the over because Cousins, maybe Baker does it again, or Bryce turns it around. But I don't know if I could take the over.
It's gonna be real tough for Baker to repeat that. I think I don't know. Yeah, with the injuries of the quarterback position, like he kind of got boosted up a little bit with all the guys that got injured out for the year. So yeah, I'll take the under, and that sounds awful to say because I love Kirk Cousins. I just don't know if he's gonna play enough games. Like if it's points per game basis, yeah, I'll take the over because Kirk Cousins, when he plays, he's gonna be over top 10. So
I don't ever do points. You should know I'm the anti-points per game guy because that goes back to my Dallas Goedert. Okay, well, no, but here's what I mean. Like, I get it if it's 1 year where he was injured and you want to show a track record where he has the upside, but I don't play in points per game. At the end of the year, if he misses 6 games, that hurts me. I need him to play. I need the guy who scored the most points in my entire season, not the guy who averaged second most in points per game, but I got him for 3 fucking games. That doesn't do me any good. So I am the anti-points per game guy. Give me the end of season. I hate the upside argument and all that. This is a really shitty picture of Bijan. I didn't notice that. But anyways.
Not his best work. Yeah, because like with the points per game argument, like if a guy gets there and they match him in points per game in regular season, but he played half the games, like the guy who got all those points the entire season, you're not playing him. Like that's the whole issue with him, right? Because he's not giving you a boost to your lineup. So it kind of works both ways.
All right, moving on to running backs, and we've added one rookie in here. We have Bijan for the Falcons, Marshawn Lloyd. Let me double check this. I should have done this in advance, but give me 1 second. I believe this is a third. Damn it. I believe this is it's a 4th round pick. Sorry. 4th round pick, Marshawn Lloyd to the Panthers. So I don't like that as much. Day 3 capital. Kamara coming back for the Saints. Rashad White coming back for the Bucks. I don't really think whether it be Sean Tucker, Miles Sanders, Tyler Algier, there's not really a backup. I think the best backup is Tyler Algier, but he's nothing more than an injury replacement. I guess we'll start with redraft. What do you got here for these 4?
It's Bijan. I have it White. I have Kamara, and then whoever the Carolina Panthers starter is. If it's Marshawn Lloyd, if it's Chuba Hubbard, or the ghost of Miles Sanders.
Chuba, that's who I forgot. Chuba.
I like Chuba. Chuba was pretty good last year for them, and I think he's a solid back. It's just Marshawn Lloyd is a more dynamic running back. Like, he's more explosive, those things. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes in, especially down round 4, because that's kind of the Rashad White came into the league at this range. So he could take some work. I just don't know how much work he's going to get. So I'll still have Kamara over them. It's inefficient volume, but he's going to get a ton of volume. Derek Carr cannot contain himself when he sees a check down to Kamara. He immediately throws it to him.
Yeah, I'm higher on Marshawn Lloyd. I think he's my RB. I got to repost my rankings because I haven't updated them on the site since I did my little walkthrough. I'm kind of just waiting because at this point, what's the point of going in and redoing them when I'm going to redo them? Because the last step in my process is draft capital anyway. So I'm just holding off a week. But last I checked, he's my RB 2 or 3. I have him in there with Brooks. It's Brooks, Lloyd, Benson, and Wright are my top 4. So I like him, but redraft-wise, he's still 4 for me. That offense probably sucks. He's a rookie. So it's Bijan pretty considerably, despite White finishing higher. White, Kamara, Lloyd. If we switch over here to Dynasty, I think it's a little more interesting. Bijan's still the 1. Kamara, I think, is easily the 4. And then for me, I still want to go White because we kind of know what we think he is, whereas Lloyd, we don't know. So I think it's Bijan, White, Lloyd, Kamara for me. But I wouldn't hate it if you were really high on Lloyd, although I think White's above the cutoff where you can take a rookie over him. So I think it's Bijan, White, Lloyd, Kamara.
Yeah, we'll see what they do, the Tampa Bay, if they bring in a decent running back to give him competition, because I hate to say it, Sean Tucker is zero competition for Sean White and did not do anything last year. So I saw the hype video, but I was like, he did not do anything good.
I liked him interesting in college, but he just never
did
anything.
Injuries, lack of draft capital. It's so with Marshawn Lloyd, he needs draft capital. If he goes round 2, I'll have him above Calvin Kamara. If he's round 4, I'm going to be a little bit more tenuous on him. I'll probably have Kamara still over him in rankings. But it's just, with these running backs in this draft class, they're all situation and draft capital dependent. So that's the big thing for him. But like that Carolina running back room is open. He could definitely carve out a decent role for himself.
Yeah, this isn't exactly a spot where I love the draft capital or the landing spot for Lloyd. This is day 3 running back going to a shitty offense with a couple of other guys to battle. Not great, but Kamara's one of the guys where I treat every year he plays like it could be his last year. And let me look. I forget what his
contract is ridiculous. Have you seen his contract? It's so absurd.
No, but it's a lot.
I know.
He still has never finished as lower than RB 16. So last year he was 11. So this will be his 8th season. I don't know. This is another case where I don't think this New Orleans team, and I'm a Saints fan. I said this last year. I said, I don't think this Saints team is very good. I don't think they're very good this year. Derek Carr sucks. Chris Olave's nice. There'll be no Michael Thomas. There's nobody else.
They got to bring in another weapon to that line, man. Like, I know people like Rashid Shaheed, but you need another weapon in that offense. And so Kamara's interesting. His dead cap is insane this year. It's $18 million dead cap hit, which is more than he's making. Next year, it's a $10 million dead cap hit on a 29 hit. So he'll probably be restructured next year or released. But I would assume this is likely his last, if not second to last year. With the Saints, because that contract is just absurd.
That is fair. Next, let's hope the wide receivers are more impressive than the last 2 categories. They can't be worse. All right, so we have the Atlanta Falcons with Drake London, the Carolina Panthers with Deontay Johnson, the New Orleans Saints with Chris Olave, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Mike Evans, subbing Chris Godwin, if you want to go 5 deep. It's said that I don't think the other 3 teams have a notable number 2 on the roster. That's pretty pathetic. Mingo, Rashid Shaheed.
Darnell Mooney, baby, let's go. Yeah, no thanks.
So so basically this one boils down to 5. So redraft, this one's tough for me. I'm an Olave guy, so redraft, it's Olave. Olave, Evans, Deontay London, Godwin. I don't know. They're all pretty close. How do you have this one? I gotta think.
I'm a London guy, and my whole issue with Olave is Derek Carr. That's the problem. They do not mesh their talents and skill sets. Olave plays down the field. He's a specialist. Derek Carr hates throwing the ball deep. I know he did it with Javonte Adams 2 years ago. Last year, it kind of blew up in their faces. So until his quarterback situation improves, he's kind of stuck. Where like Drake London, he has that good quarterback who's their talents pair well together. So he's going to be right up there. I'll have Mike Evans 1, Drake London 2, Chris Olave 3, and Deontay Johnson 4. I love Deontay Johnson, but we still need Bryce Young to show improvement in that year. So like it's a better situation for him. But Chris Olave, he's such a high floor player. It's hard to be above him. So like I actually like all these guys as potentially top 20 guys. Like that
I was going to say, I think this is 4 guys who finished between 13 and 24. Yeah. That's why it's so hard to pick.
One or two of them is getting into the top 12. Like they just need some touchdown aggression. Like Mike Evans, you saw what he did last year. I would not expect that to change much for him. I think he has the highest floor of all of these guys. But Drake London, like he could hit that ceiling where he could jump top 5. I think Olave is kind of hovering between like 8 and 16. That's where he's hanging
out. Dynasty for me is a little different because I have Godwin last, Evans second last because of age. If you ask me dynasty wise, I think I go Olave, London, Deontay, Evans, Godwin. It could be Godwin, Evans. I could be convinced, but what do you got?
Yeah, I have London, Olave, just because of his situation as quarterback. Like I don't see Olave with Derek Carr ever jumping in the top 5. Like that just seems unlikely, and it sucks for him because he's a very good wide receiver. Both these guys are. I'll have I did this with Deontay and Mike Evans. Deontay is a few years younger, so I'll just take Deontay. He might not give you the exact ceiling, but it's gonna be really close. So I'm fine doing Deontay above Mike Evans. And if you're a contender, I would put Mike Evans above Deontay, and then I would go that way. And then Godwin will just he'll be 5. Unfortunately, that's just kind of is what it is with Godwin. I don't fully trust him to be unlocked, and maybe they change it since it's new quarterback coach and all that stuff. But based on what we saw last year, Godwin was the clear second option on that offense. So unfortunate for him.
Oh, this is interesting. Completely off topic. I've got Pat McAfee on the other TV screen, and they're saying the odds for the number 2 overall pick, Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Drake May just had a huge drop in odds from plus 240 to minus 105. What do they know?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
The market's finally correcting itself. Like there's been so much Jaden Daniels hype. It's just like Drake May is going to be number 2.
I like Jaden Daniels more personally, and it's not even close. Jaden Daniels, actually, when we update, Jaden Daniels is my QB1.
Oh, over Caleb? Oh, man. You're
over JJ's my 2. Caleb's my 3.
You are a spicy mofo.
Yeah, I could be like RC Fisher and say that Caleb Williams is my QB8 in the class.
Hey, he was right about Rachaad White last year. I'll give him that. He got so much shit. Rachaad White was like top 6 back. It's like, okay, maybe you were on something.
Okay, but what scenario is Marvin Harrison not the 5th best receiver in this class going to a spot where he's going to be the number 1?
I was listening to Harmon. You talked yesterday, and he was like, he's the best prospect I've ever charted. That's like, okay. Yeah, he's really good. I think he knows what he's talking about. So, yeah,
no. I get Bijan was situational, and they split some time with Bijan, but I don't see how with a receiver. Anyways, we've sidetracked. I don't know. That's awesome.
No, yeah, I'm on board with it. I get it 100%. Like, I think Marvin Harrison's great. And I don't even think he's generational. I'm just like he's very.
I'm not even the Marvin Harrison guy, but like to not have him in the top 5. What the fuck are we doing?
Oh my god! Look at this division. It's Kyle Pitts and nobody.
Yes. So the tight ends, we have Kyle Pitts on the Falcons. Theo Johnson. Let me bring that one up for us.
Round 3 for 5, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking day 3. Theo Johnson, round 3. To the Panthers. Juwan Johnson with the Saints. Cade Otton on the Bucks. So this is for me I think it's the same in redraft and dynasty. It's Kyle Pitts by a lot.
Wow.
Cade Otton, Theo Johnson, Juwan Johnson. Cade Otton, Juwan Johnson, Theo. I don't know.
I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter with the bottom of those 3. And I hate to say that about players, but it's just we've seen Juwan Johnson. He Kate Otten, he's just running a million routes just as he needs targets. That's just isn't that obvious.
No,
Theo Johnson is such a tease. You watch his tape and you're like, okay, it doesn't stand out. And then you see him at the combine, you're like, that is not the guy that I watched on tape like at all. So I get it. There's upside with Theo Johnson. I'll take him as 2 just to chase the upside, but I think I would just look to sell him. That's what I would do in this situation because I can't sell Jennings or Otten. So I'll at least take the upside with Theo as the number 2 and then sell him.
Yeah, it's Kyle Pitts for me. I have a little interest in Kate Otten as a dynasty stash. The other 2, I don't know. I'm not my ex. I have no interest in either Johnson. How's that for your football hot take?
There you go.
You ever hear that kind of rationale before? No, you did not. It all makes sense when I put it like that. But so it's Kyle Pitts and nobody else. If this is what the tight ends look like, this division's been ugly. This might be the worst we've seen so far.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at how it finished last year, it's no surprise. Let's hope. Can the kickers be any better? The kickers are probably just as ugly. I'm already looking at
the be better. There's got to be at least a second guy.
It's not any better. So we have for kickers, we've got the Falcons have Koo, the Panthers have Pinheiro, the Saints have Groupie, and the Bucks have McLaughlin. So Koo is your top 12 guy. Pinheiro is easily the worst. Groupie, I think McLaughlin and Groupie are probably 2 and 3 for me. They're somewhere in the stream them based on matchups. So Koo's the guy you want. Pinheiro's the guy I think I streamed once last year in a perfect matchup. The other 2 are just streamers dependent on matchup. So yeah, the kickers didn't really save the division. It didn't get any better there either.
Do you know who finished the highest points per game last year among these guys?
One sec. The answer is points per game last year is probably McLaughlin.
No, it's Groupie. He was the kicker 10. He is 8.8 points per game, 150. McLaughlin is a ways down. He had 136. Koo was kicker 15 at 8.1, 138.
Koo was terrible last year.
Yeah, he struggled. And where's the other guy? He is way down the list. I do not see him. Well,
Pinheiro's right off the board almost.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He is
dog shit, like in the 30s.
I don't know. Did he play partially last year? He must have.
No, he just isn't any good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he 20 kicker 27. No, thank you. That's not good. Yeah. Whoa, that's an interesting comment.
One sec. Blah blah blah. Yeah, no, thank you.
Lovely comment. Yes.
I see.
Yeah, so this kicker division is not the best in the world, but you got good offenses. At least with the Baker offense and the Falcons offense, they played a dome. The Saints played a dome. The Panthers, we did TBD on that offense, right? So we'll see.
All right, that concludes the most exciting division in football. God, this division is why you drink when you watch football. Good God, this is terrible.
You're telling me that Panthers-Saints game in Week 15 is not the most exciting thing you've ever seen?
I hate that my favorite team is in this division and that they're probably not the best team in this division.
They got to tear it down. At some point, tear it down, man.
Well, yeah, they're only over the cap for the next 45 years, so it's all right. It's just it'll be turnaround quick hurt like tomorrow. So, all right, that's a wrap on the NFC South. Good God, they all suck. Head over for our written content to fantasyfootballuniverse.com. We are on all social media at FF Mad Scientist, at JMoeller05, at FF_Rebel. At the PPR show, and I think I have this all on a ticker. I don't know why I never send it across the bottom. And at the FF Universe, like, subscribe, rate, review, comment, all that crap, and we will get back to you. We've got 2 more of these this weekend, 2 AFC divisions, I believe, and then we've got a mock draft mixed in there somewhere. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will be starting off with the team audits if I can get enough time to actually get some of this done. And then Thursday morning, we're going to do a preview of the players who have the most to lose going into the draft. And we'll be doing a live draft coverage Thursday night. I think we're going to kick off 5 or 10 minutes before 8 o'clock, but give or take 8 o'clock. And that is the plan for the week. So check back with us tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care and have a great day.